Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. We are Watchers Weekly. My name is Matt Allen. Sitting with me here, my co-host, Hunter Baugh and Joseph Bartholomew Cribbs.
What's up?
Yeah, so we are going to be talking about pretty much anything that's on our minds at any given moment. We're not super picky in what we're talking about. Like pretty much anything that's on TV or the internet or Netflix, which is both TV and the internet. It's the child that they both made. So, first and foremost, we want to thank you so much for tuning in for our very first podcast. They're only going to get better and more elaborate.
Or worse.
Or worse.
Or stop altogether.
That is true. I do tend to get really bored really quickly with anything I choose to do. So, I'm surprised I get dressed in the morning. So, what do you think, Joe? It's your first podcast. Watchers Weekly. How do you feel?
I'm excited, man. I'm real excited to talk about stuff.
About stuff.
Yes.
Me too.
Things.
I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, let's start off with the first batch of news. Trailers. Guys.
Trailerpalooza.
Trailerpalooza. For sure. We've had every movie that you could think of outside of the Berenstain Bears take Manhattan. That did come out.
It was amazing.
Fox is just going ham.
Benedict Cumberbatch is in it.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Brother Bear.
Yes.
We had Selena Gomez as Baby Bear. Nicolas Cage reprising his role as Mama Bear.
Didn't see the trailer.
You would think he'd be Papa Bear, but no, he's Mama Bear. And then, obviously, Father Bear, Daniel Radcliffe. And Manhattan. It's great. It looks really cool. I'm interested in
It's
it.
a musical, apparently.
It's a musical, yes.
So,
The music was
musical.
directed and scored by Tyler Perry. If you believe that.
You don't say.
I do say, actually.
Oh.
So it was crazy. But anyway, other trailers that came out. You guys saw a bunch of trailers. I know I saw some.
Yes.
Let's talk about... Okay, we'll start off with the big one that just came out recently. Everyone's talking about it. Star Wars The Force Awakens. So much happened in this trailer, guys.
Yeah,
There was quite a bit.
Like, okay, let's start from the top. What was your favorite part of the trailer? Did you like the trailer?
I thought the trailer was better paced than all three of the prequels. Right off the bat, the structure of the plot, the way things were revealed, how I felt at the end, was just, it was such a better emotion.
But it definitely lacked Jar Jar Binks, is what I thought.
Yes, I said it was better.
I know, but I think that it could have had more Jar Jar Binks, and we would like maybe because he was a senator last time. Maybe he was like some sort of deity.
You know, there's still hope though. There's still hope.
Yeah. There's still hope for more
Jar Jar, or like Jar Jar child.
Jar Jar's kid, yeah. Because he could become a Jedi.
Yeah, Jar Jar baby.
Jar Jar babes. Jar Jar babes. Okay, but do you like the trailer? You said you liked the trailer.
No, yeah, it was great.
Joe,
I thought the trailer did a really great job of balancing, kind of bringing on the new story while also giving us just that classic Star Wars feeling. You go through the fight sequences and they have the same pew pew, the exact same noise. You know, they did not alter the pew noise at all. I was really satisfied with that. It was exactly the same. I still don't fully understand the hilt on the lightsaber. They brought it back again. Initially, I thought that might just be like a one-time thing that just was in the one trailer to throw everybody off. But I thought that was really cool. I think I thought it was really cool, kind of. I mean, my assumption is that was Mark Hamill or Luke. Narrating the trailer.
That's what I thought, because I said, "Who is the person talking?" Because you could think it's Luke, but did Leia have the Force? Did Leia have the Force? Did she have? She did it
in the novels that are no longer canon.
Yeah,
she totally is. No, because they actually make mention of it in the movies too.
Did she use the Force?
I think it's Yoda or Obi-Wan, one of the two, says there is another, and then he just kind of like goes.
There's another Skywalker. There's another Skywalker. But does she ever use the Force in the movies? Did she ever?
She does
display any Force ability, because the books are no longer canon, so we can't look at those for reference. So in the movie, does she use the Force at any point?
No, she doesn't.
So that's what led me to believe that it was Luke's kid that's talking, because he could say that I have it, my father has it, because he used the word has as opposed to had, and Vader's dead.
But one thing to think about is maybe I haven't watched the original 3 in quite a while, but did Luke ever actively use the Force until he was trained by Obi-Wan?
No.
So we can say Leia, maybe training is what activates the midichlorian. That's what activates
Let's not talk
it,
about
so.
midichlorian anymore.
Well,
let's never say
Let
that
it be
again.
mystical.
Well,
we forgot about it.
Mystic.
They forgot about it. No one knows what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Midichlorians, midichlorians? Is it midichlorians?
It's midichlorian.
I'm pretty sure it's midichlorian.
I don't know why I would change it.
So that would be maybe why Leia doesn't.
Have
why she didn't, because she's never been trained by anybody.
Okay,
so I would
that makes
assume
sense.
maybe her and Luke have been hanging out a little more.
Well, it's obviously time has passed.
Oh yeah.
So hey, who knows? Okay, so you say you didn't like you say the lightsaber, the Claymore lightsaber. I'm still kind of I was against it. Now I'm kind of on the fence.
I was in from the minute.
I'm on the fence now.
I think it's really cool. Just the one thing two things. Number one is just there's that little piece of metal before the beam, the light beam.
Yeah.
So that means that someone, at least in my logic, either it's just I don't know, like that would just come off and then it would hit the blade there. Because part of me just feels like you could just slice right through that part and get to the hand.
Lightsabers
but if the beam is going through, maybe I'm confused. But I was watching an interview with J.J. Abrams, and he said, and this is what makes me feel better about it, is because he said that it's been really funny because him and his whole team, they had all these exact same conversations, but in reverse. So, like, they had the conversations and they made it, and now they hear everyone debating about the exact same things that they debated about when they originally were conceiving the idea. So the fact that J.J. Abrams, who I trust more than probably any movie maker out there, in my opinion.
Trust him with lens flares. I trust him to give me all the lens flares I need. And I need a lot.
But I trust him. I trust him with this at the very least. Yeah. And so to hear like that they actually like it wasn't just something that they didn't think about.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and it's just
makes me feel
whenever
better
you watch a lightsaber fight, you never see that moment that happens in every sword fight when the swords like touch and then they slide down, and that's like the whole point of the wrist guard. Because the lightsabers, when the blades touch, they just like get stuck.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the whole like pushing at each other thing is, and they have to pull away to make other swings. That's why when people say that, I'm like, yeah, lightsabers wouldn't do that because it's not the same thing.
See, what I heard, and I saw a couple things online. This is what I heard. They said that the person who built that lightsaber, because the Sith are all but destroyed at this point, and the only people that would know how to make a lightsaber are the good guys, the Jedi. And what they said was that maybe, and this Sith is shambling through the forest, you know, and what they said that maybe this lightsaber was hastily prepared. Because you can see that the beam coming up is different than the beams going out. There's like they're more jagged.
Yeah,
and they said that it could be like exhaust ports of some kind.
Oh, sure. That makes
in
sense.
order, not like on purpose.
Yeah.
But exhaust ports because they just had to build this lightsaber out in the middle of nowhere. They don't have all the pieces. You know what I mean? So they just kind of like built it in like a makeshift to get that extra energy out, but still have the blade going up.
And then when he gets to the Hunger Games stormtrooper thing, he's like, I like it.
Yeah, like he just keeps it because it's his. Because it's his, and he's like gotten really good with it. I don't know. I don't know if that's it. It's probably not it, but it led me to go like, okay, I could see that, and then some other stuff that I thought it was kind of cool.
Oh, for sure.
And I like the concept of a different type of lightsaber. But let's say we got another lightsaber. So we got a new lightsaber. What do you think of Han Solo showing up with Chewbacca? Does he look old, or does he look seasoned? I think those are the two options.
I'm thoroughly ashamed of the level of emotional reaction that came out of me.
Yeah.
When that moment happened. Like it was the kind of thing where I don't know if you ever heard Nick Offerman make like a high pitched like squealy sounds.
Yes.
Like that was the thing that happened to me. Yeah. Like I was just like, no Chewie. That's kind of what was the response?
Were you more excited to see Chewbacca, or were you more excited to see Han Solo?
Probably Han Solo. Mm-hmm. I mean, Chewie's great. Chewie, he really is really fun.
Yeah.
But a lot of my favorite things about Chewbacca were things that were in the expanded universe, where they talk more about who he is. Whereas in the original movies, he's just kind of
a guy.
The pander.
He's there to make noise.
Yeah, the guy to like show Han Solo being funny.
Right.
But hey, he also had that cool crossbow.
Yes.
And he didn't get a medal. And I hope that's brought up in this new movie. Yeah, I hope Chewbacca walks around just like punching people in the face, like just being really bitter about it. Alright, so the Star Wars trailer was pretty cool. What about Batman vs. Superman? You saw the Batman vs. Superman trailer?
I'm
Movie's
torn.
still a little far away. So.
Yeah,
First impressions. Go ahead. This is our first big thing.
This is It's my first impression. In all honesty, was I really liked the fan-made Heisenberg trailer more, which I'm a little ashamed of, but also
we should link that. We should link that.
Yeah, no, it'll be in the doobly-doo for sure. That would be. It's just because that was so good, and the pacing of it was so good. I mean, the actual trailer was great, but in my head, I'm just like, yeah, but like Heisenberg though, you could like that could be a thing, and it was just I understand them not going with that, and I think that would do a good job.
Do you think that the Batman versus Superman trailer could have done with more black stormtroopers? Because I feel like the internet loves that.
That's the big question.
I know we're talking about Batman versus Superman. I just realized
that was one thing we were going to talk about.
Who
is this mysterious stormtrooper?
I want to call him Negro O'Grady. Like he's Negro O'Grady. He's like he's Irish and black and a stormtrooper.
My favorite thing about the black stormtrooper controversy is that the opinion of the person tells you not only how racist they are, but what their level of understanding of the Star Wars universe is.
Yeah.
Because the kind of guy is going to throw a fit and be like, rah, rah, it should be the racially ambiguous thing that Jango Fett was. First of all, shut up.
Yeah.
Second of all, they stopped using clones so long ago.
Well, that can't be viable. It can't be viable.
But it's just the fact that Jango Fett, this amazing bounty hunter who like talked down Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then his clones are later in the movies just like, those look like droids, but you did wave your hand at me, so I'm going to walk away.
You would like, it's just like how the Nazis, like, they would like go around and grab other people. Like, you can find all sorts of different Nazis now. Now, granted, the colors are all the same. Mm-hmm. But maybe, are they Nazis? Are the stormtroopers Nazis? Well, do they hate other people, or are they just like...
They probably just working a job.
They're just working a job.
That's the thing, that's... It's a great.
It's not a religious fervor thing.
Do they?
No, most of them don't even believe in the Force.
Yeah.
Until they get choked.
The guy didn't even believe in the Force. Yeah, that's true.
Do they ever actually say that they stopped making the clones on Kamino, or
in the expanded universe?
Well, that's like, but then they're
just talk about that.
But logically, it would follow because the clones in the prequels are they seem very competent. They kill Jedi.
Yeah. Right.
And the generals aren't clones.
Yeah.
And that'd be something else to say. The generals aren't clones.
Yeah. Well, no, and you see the other people, like the guys who run the Death Star's gun.
Yeah, they're not
have the little like.
That's a good point.
So
you think they would just make everybody a clone? Yeah. You think
so?
So it's just be easiest.
Anyway, back to Batman Superman. I'm sorry, I just realized that there was some black people that we missed.
Yeah. So, just in closing, the opinion of the podcast for any of you listening.
Yes.
If you think Black Stormtroopers is dumb, shut up.
Yeah, no. Go away.
Okay.
I mean, stay here, listen to more of our stuff.
I love it.
But just be really angry about that statement.
Yes.
And then tell us about how angry you are. Email us.
Please do.
Or send us a message. Or a tweet. a tweet.
I also want to know who that like random chick is. Who's actually really pretty.
Probably Princess Leia.
Probably Princess Leia.
No,
yes, she has gotten.
Yeah, she just got hit with it. She got hit with
some
kind of ray.
Let's think about this for a minute. You see in technology in end of episode 5, Luke's getting his new hand and everything. Yeah. It's like that could be like new age Botox or something for Leia.
All right, anyway. We've been talking about Star Wars too much. It's gotten way too much of my time in life, and so Batman Superman, good trailer, bad trailer. Joe, what do you think?
I had really mixed emotions about it. And I guess my main thing that I would say about it is it made me think, because my biggest question is why is there going to have to be this confrontation between Batman and Superman? So it's kind of the way it looks is there's clearly some kind of cult or religion being based around Superman. He has a following, and so I'm not sure.
Weird because you would think Metropolis would be really mad at him for everything that he did.
So it's kind of that's that. I think everything. I thought Ben Affleck actually looked really
looked angry.
Looked angry, and that was like something we haven't necessarily seen. Like
unless you watch
Geely.
You got pretty angry.
I thankfully never saw that movie. But there's but then also I actually I've read several opinions about what the bat suit.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's different. It's refreshing to see it kind of bulkier and just like Ben Affleck. He looks like a monster in that thing.
Yeah.
Like, he looks
And
like you do not want him. That would, if you saw that coming out of a shadow, you would wet yourself in a heartbeat.
It looks scary.
It looks. I thought that was really well done, in my opinion.
Well, that's another one of those things where the people who throw fits about it, I think you have to see their level of involvement with the canon.
Yeah.
Because Batman, 9 times out of 10, especially in The Dark Knight Returns, which the movie is loosely based on, he's a big dude.
He's really big.
He's a broad dude. Not even just that he's muscular, but he's just wide.
Yeah. And I think
that's part of Batman's character.
I always want to say Brad Pitt, but it's not Brad Pitt. Who is the guy?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. It's the same guy. Why did they get Brad Pitt to do it?
Brad Pitt is Batman.
Yeah, why
Bryan
not?
Cranston is Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
We gotta recast the movie.
Anyway,
when
Ben Affleck, like when we saw him in Gone Girl, because we saw that movie, and it still leaves us mental scar. I tricked his girlfriend into taking him on a date to go see Gone Girl. And if you haven't gone to see Gone Girl, you have no idea how funny that is.
It's the worst.
Stop the podcast right now. Go watch Gone Girl. Come back, and then you'll understand how hilarious that is.
The worst part about it is not the content is crazy, and that you see Neil Patrick Harris it's like that. All of that is not nearly as bad. It's the fact that it's a good movie.
It's a really.
I hate you the most because of that. Because I walked away, and she was mad. She was like really frustrated. And I'm like, yeah. But like the acting was really superb and the writing was really good. I was so torn.
It was so great.
It's the worst.
Anyway, but in that movie, Ben Affleck was a writer, but you could see he's obviously training for Batman, and he just looked hilarious because he's got this Batman huge muscles and like rippling pectorals and the whole thing, and then he's just like, yeah, I write.
Yeah, and his 130-pound wife is smarting off to him like, you could literally snap her neck with those biceps.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
Crazy.
Anyway, I thought he looked really good in the Batsuit. I thought he really, you could tell that he's been training and getting ready for this. Because obviously, after Daredevil, people were not ready to see him take up any more superhero. And then let alone Batman. I know people who have tattoos of like the bat symbol on their body. So Batman's a like the people's favorite. Mm-hmm. So you can't just have it out there.
That's 9 times out of 10 the reason he wins against any
in the
comics is not really from physicality. It's from the power of Batman is so much cooler than everyone else.
And this is what I said. And I watched the trailer, and after I got done watching the trailer, the first thing I wrote down was, if Superman doesn't beat Batman like a rag doll, I'm gonna just be really disappointed. Because if Batman could just build a suit, just builds a suit to match Superman's strength, well then there you go. then why not just be Superman? Man?
Yeah. Well, it turns out Batman is also Lex Luthor.
Yeah, like just be Superman. Then why are you skulking in the shadows? Yeah. Use your super suit to stop all crime. Like he has to build a suit that's like super good, and he gets a few punches in, and Superman's like, "Oh, you suck," and then just rips his suit off in like paper. But then Batman has a contingency plan, and is like, "Oh, by the way, there's like a bomb in the Daily Planet," and he's like, "What?" And he has to fly to the Daily Planet, and then when he gets there, there's no bomb. And Batman's like, now we're working on Plan C. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it has to be a series of Batman setting up traps. And then Superman just like punching him. Right. And then Batman's like, oh crap, Plan F. And moves to Plan F. Or else then Superman's useless. In any medium. Because if Zod can destroy half of Metropolis, and then they're just beating each other up, he's blowing up like tankers, then Superman's going to seem super weak in comparison. So in the Batman Superman trailer, we do see that. We don't see any Lex. Which I think is... You see it?
You see a moment of it.
Really?
It's pretty quick.
Is it really quick? I missed it.
Oh, yeah, because it's...
I think it's smart that they didn't. Show any, like, hardcore scenes.
It wasn't much. You see him walking in a suit.
Oh, okay.
And, like, you see a little bit of his baby head.
Yeah.
I was under the assumption that was him talking for the beginning portion.
That's what I thought, too.
When he's talking about...
There's a bunch of different people. Neil deGrasse Tyson, actually... is in the narration too. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's really interesting.
And then I would assume the guy who's talking about them turning cruel, I would assume that was Alfred.
It is Alfred.
Yeah,
Jeremy Irons.
I would assume he's talking about Batman getting frustrated over the fact that he can't just hit Superman with a batarang and be done with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I feel like Batman would
it's
constantly.
That monologue could go about anyone. It could be about Batman.
Could be about Superman.
Superman.
So
yeah, it's very.
And in the Superman Batman trailer, we see Batman threatening Superman. Mm-hmm. We see the armored suit. We see the eyes. Yep. I don't know. I think it looks interesting. You see Superman being all over the world.
Yep. There's a lot of references to Dark Knight Returns.
But in the reverse, because it seems like Superman is the one being the threat.
Yeah.
Like the threat to the world, as where Batman was in the comics. Mm-hmm. So
it is really interesting. And the thing I think that stuck out most for me, I didn't catch it immediately, was the scene where that kind of reminds you of Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan series, when Batman's just like standing on top of a tower. Mm-hmm. And at first I thought it was just like a radio beam, but it looks like a sniper rifle.
Like a gun.
Which, again, Dark Knight Returns, he uses, not to kill anyone, obviously.
Because he's getting old.
Definitely uses it.
Yeah, but he it's just the moments in any of the Batman productions where Batman considers using a firearm has always really fascinated me. Mm-hmm. So I remember the beginning of Batman Beyond when he's fighting just some street level thugs, almost gets killed, and then nearly pulls a pistol out on someone, and that was like the breaking point for him. So I think
that's when he realized he was too old to do it.
It'd be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I saw in that one, which it's just totally, you just jumped right out of my brain. It ran away. I think.
While you think of that, let's talk about.
Please talk.
What did you guys think of his voice?
Oh, the bad voice.
Yes, it sounded almost like a Arrow type, like kind of like that technologically modified voice, which maybe it's just the cut of the trailer that they chose to use. But
this is what I think. I personally think the Batman voice is dumb. The concept of Bruce Wayne putting on a voice is kind of silly, because how often will these like street level thugs hang out in Wayne Manor? Like, how often are these people going to be hearing him speak? And it's not like he makes public engagements all the time. You know what I mean?
He'll just have conversations with criminals.
Yeah, he'll just be a guy. And but I can understand like, I'm going to modify my voice or like speak in a more monotone way.
Right.
I don't like the idea of like lowering the voice. And if you're going to do it,
I went to a Robin Thicke concert and shouted too much, and now I just can't talk.
Yeah.
That whole thing seems kind of lame.
Where is she? La, 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 la. It's just like, why are you doing that? You can't spend all night doing that, because then you go into unless they trained him that way. Maybe the League of Shadows trained him
possible
to just growl all the time.
Moderately frightened and growling.
I mean, it's kind of like Screamo, you know, like if you scream the right way.
I just feel like if you take a thug and you bust his kneecap in, you've already frightened him. You don't need to do a scary
voice.
And
if anything, I feel like there's not really an accent you could do that would not be scary at that moment.
Yeah.
You break the kneecap.
You just walk over to a guy.
It's still scary.
Just take your thumb and put it in his eye, and as he reaches up, you just crack open his wrist and look at him and say, "Hey, guy, stop it."
I would still be frightened.
I'd still be frightened. I'd be a little confused.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would think he's mocking me.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh no.
There's no moment
where is she?
That's no longer frightening. So
where is Rachel?
Batman, you don't need that. You don't need the thing.
Okay, so Batman and Superman look good though. So speaking of two heroes, we got Superman, Batman, two heroes that you know, you like, you've enjoyed. On to the Fantastic Four trailer. Heroes that you have not thought about up until the fact that they said, "Hey, we're making a Fantastic Four movie." What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Tell me about the trailer. Tell me what you thought. Did you like it? First off, did you like the trailer?
I think I liked the trailer, but it didn't make me any more excited to see the movie.
Yeah, no, me either.
Yeah, no, I will go out of nerd obligation, not out of like any real interest in what they're doing. I've never
for
really
this
been
podcast,
a
I will go see it.
Fan though.
Yeah,
it's never been a big thing for me. I've loved actually seeing them in other comics. Like one of my favorite moments in Civil War is the Sue Storm, Reed Richards like tension they have there. Like that's really good. But when they're on their own and they're having their own story, just like doing scientist things and then occasionally fighting this rich guy, I was
always an X-Men fan growing up. In the Marvel Universe, the X-Men were my favorite. And then the Fantastic Four just seemed to laugh in the face of all the controversy that the X-Men were feeling. It was like, oh, you have a mutant, Sunfire, who can create fire. via his mutant ability. And he has bricks thrown at him as he walks through the mall because he's a mutant. Mutants are gross. And then you have Human Torch fly by, and people ask him to sign. Sign this. I was like, what? That seems so stupid. So I was never a big fan of the Fantastic Four, only because I was such a fan of X-Men. I just felt like they just got all the stuff. But in the trailer,
they're just white privilege.
Yeah, right. We looked at white privilege in its comic form.
Hegemony.
However, in the trailer, we see more of everybody's powers,
which is cool,
and they actually look pretty good.
Yeah, the Thing looks great.
Okay.
Especially,
we'll agree to disagree on the Thing. I like Michael Chiklis.
What?
As the Thing better.
No,
than
he had
that.
like pieces of basketball.
Yeah,
he looked they made out of like Play-Doh or something.
He looked.
It was the worst.
When I saw Michael Chiklis, I said yes.
That was a cosplay at Comic-Con. That was not a real movie Hollywood produced.
I agree to disagree because I think this other guy looks like just a lump of like cornflakes. Like just a bunch of cornflakes constantly falling off this guy. And yeah, he's a giant rock, I guess. I don't know. You know what he looks like? He looks like that guy from Neverending Story.
Yes.
The big rock guy.
Yes.
From Neverending Story. Yes. He looks like that guy to me. And I saw him and I was like, Atreyu.
Yeah. I feel like
Atreyu, no.
I feel like a Who Wore It Better meme needs to develop out of that.
Right? I like Michael Chiklis. I like Michael Chiklis better. I'm just a Michael Chiklis fan, I guess. I subscribe to Michael Chiklis.
His acting was fine.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get over the fact that it looked like I could walk up to him and just like rip off a piece of the Thing and take it home.
But underneath that would be Michael Chiklis. He would punch you right in the throat.
All the styrofoam and
it was protecting you from Michael Chiklis. Anyway, so in the trailer, we find out that Sue is the adopted one. Because the dad is black, and then the Human Torch is black. We see Human Torch helping out in the lab, which has never really been his
as far as I've seen the little
thing.
He was never been kind of like the playboy.
He was a playboy, so that's going to be interesting to show him as like he's part of the team, which I thought was kind of interesting. And we still don't know how Ben Grimm gets in here because as far as we know, he just seems like a guy.
Yeah.
We see him like at Grimm, like Industries or something, or some kind of warehouse or.
Well, I believe it's is it Reed who talks to him and says we bring in the strength or something. So they have some kind of relationship. Muscle, Maybe they've worked together before.
They've always been friends in the comics.
Yeah. So that's probably how
they in the comics. They room together in college. Which I always thought was funny because. It was Reed Richards, Dr. Doom, pretty sure Hank Pym, and then just Hank Pym, Wakanda's chief or the Black Panther, T'Challa was in the same college.
Wait, what?
And then Doctor Strange, I think maybe. I think they all went to the same college. Maybe not Doctor Strange, but everyone else. But they all went to the same college. And then Ben Grimm. So you have the smartest people in the. And you have the smartest people.
He's just hitting on girls.
Yeah, what did Ben Grimm go to college for?
Football.
Yeah, what did he go to college for?
He's just really involved in the activities.
Yeah, he just really liked it. He loved being rock. He rocked college.
Yeah,
right.
I'm sure he did.
He probably did. Was there anything else that you saw that you thought was cool? We saw a little bit of Doom. We saw a little bit of Doom.
Yeah, you get a little flash of Doom. I mean, it's like I said. I mean, nothing was bad. I actually really liked the way the trailer was structured. The way they showed the tragedy. The way they set up the story. I thought that was really well done. But I'm just not excited to see it. I guess I haven't seen a Fox movie that has impressed me to have the track record to make me excited about something.
Let me ask you this. Do you think they should give it back to Marvel, or do you think they should just stop making Fantastic Four movies?
That's a tricky debate, and especially, I mean, we're going to talk about Daredevil later, and these things that Marvel does come out with that actually are like these kind of like the DC feel with the darker because you see Fantastic Four, you look at Batman and Superman, and you're like, man, it just has this kind of dark feel to it, this just heavier feel to it when. Avengers and all the MCU things for the most part are all just really comedy based, one-liner based, really kind of
You need to tell me Iron Man 2 is in the series movie.
So, like I'm saying,
Iron Man 2 is pretty serious.
It's interesting. So I haven't gotten to see enough.
He was in that donut.
I haven't gotten to see
And then they fought at that party.
I haven't gotten to see the
So
Netflix
sad.
Daredevil yet to see Marvel's track record with a more heavy feeling show or material. But I mean, I prefer MCU the Avengers feel over the Batman Superman, just this heavy darkness. Like I want to come out of a superhero movie feeling like I want to aspire to be that, not like as great as it is to see the real life, like this is how it would be in the real world, like all these relationship factors and just the heaviness on there. And I know Avengers gets into that a little bit.
You want to see some spandex
but, like,
guys kicking
I want to like come out of that just dreaming about being a superhero again.
Yeah,
like when I was reading those comics and like just the glamour of it. And so that's what I prefer personally. So I don't know. So we'll see. But I feel like as long as I keep my expectations low enough to meet like the reality of what the film's gonna be, I will be pleasantly surprised.
So speaking of dark and gritty superheroes, the Ant-Man trailer.
Yes.
What do you think about that? Please, Hunter, give us your rundown.
So the Hank Pym bit is what I'm most interested to see, because Hank Pym, for those of you who don't know, abused his wife in the comics.
Yeah, I have it, but he was mind
up.
controlled at the time. But yeah, he still did slap her a bit.
Yeah, it's just
I
wonder what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to come up with? Because I know he's kind of post Ant-Man in it. I don't think so.
I don't think we, as an audience, and I say we, being everyone who doesn't read the comics, are ready for a complicated hero. Because that complicated. Because Tony Stark, he's a bit of a dick. But like that's his fatal flaw is that he's a bit of a dick. Mm-hmm. And maybe an alcoholic, but not really. Because we never really touched on his drinking. So he's just kind of like dickish to his friends, and that's it. You know what I mean? Thor was kind of an arrogant guy. But now he's not, so there you go. You know, Bruce Banner, he's constantly got to buy pants and
steal small vehicles.
Hey,
but some ladies are into that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's true. And then Hawkeye
has no screen time.
He
more screen time.
He only has a
in
few
the Thor movie than he got in the Avengers.
He has a
limit
limit.
That movie.
He didn't shoot. Like he shot like two guys. He shot Loki out of the sky with his arrow. But...
Oh yeah. No. I meant in Thor. He was he got all set up. We watched him build the bow, and he was like, "Oh wait, no, I won't."
I'd rather not.
Oh wait.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. This guy that looks like the Norse representation of the God of Thunder doesn't seem to be able to do it. I'll just get off. I'll get off of my little crane now.
Yeah. This seems really weird.
Like,
someone please level me down.
Why do you need a crane? That was my why the crane? There's only like 20 feet higher.
Yeah.
If you're an amazing art, do you need the 20 feet? Is that a big
I think
deal?
I think Hawkeye, and in the comics they reference this more. If you want to read a good comic, Hawkeye is a great comic to read. They reference the fact that Hawkeye does a lot of stuff because he just feels like he needs to make it harder for himself because he's just a guy shooting a bow and arrow. Like he understands that he could easily just get a gun and be just as good. Like his aim is just as good with a gun as it is with a bow and arrow. But he's just like, I like to make things more challenging for myself, which is why he runs around with a bow and arrow.
Weird.
Really, really.
It's like if you're in this dire world, like the world's gonna blow up if you don't do this situation, and he fails. It's his fault.
But when has the world ever really rested on Hawkeye's shoulders?
This is true. Never. Not one
like,
time.
please hit this guy with an arrow, or we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Unless Galactus says that one day, and then he's like sleeping or something, and we're like, no, we'll just get a guy who's good at shooting arrows.
Just get
any Olympian.
And
the Olympian from the archery.
Sure, Black Widow is just as much archery and firearm training as him.
So the Ant-Man
She just doesn't like bows.
So Ant-Man, we got Hank Pym, who's beating his wife. Well, he's not in the trailer.
Yeah,
not yet.
Not
yet. But Hank Pym gives the suit to Scott Lang, I believe Scott Lang, who's and needs him to break into what looks like Pym Industries.
Yep.
Looks like the Pym Industries in order to steal back something, whether it be Pym particles, whether it be his old mug that said "I hate Mondays." Yeah. We really don't know what it is that he's asking him to steal, but he's asking him to steal him. And we see Yellow Jacket, the villain.
Yeah.
Yep.
We see the suit. We see the fight.
The fight sequences
looked really cool.
And
And the whole concept of shrinking, but then getting super strength when you shrink, was very great because he always had proportionate strength of an ant when he was small.
Yeah.
Which is actually really, really strong considering how big a person is or how strong a human could be.
Yeah.
And then the scene where he's running with the ants.
Mm-hmm.
And like the ants, they found a way to make the ants not seem dumb.
Yeah.
At least for me. Because you see like he control ants and be like, okay, well so.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But like, have you ever tried to stomp on an ant? Just like straight up just go like on an ant. You very rarely do you get it the first time.
Yeah, if you actually like take a moment to like look at like what an ant does and what an ant is capable of, like ants are pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was
Ants
weird.
are really
He's running with a bunch of them, and if they're red fire ants,
oh yeah,
they might like take out Loki.
Yeah.
But like if you're just going after some guy in a business room, you just jack up his throat or something.
I love the 2-second snap of he's flowing down some kind of like plumbing or something with the water, and they're either creating a raft or like a shield around him to protect him. Like that's just like it's such a cool element we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
But it also seemed like he could control them without the suit. You saw that scene in the car where he had to spin the penny. So maybe they're running off it like he's gonna get that actual ability outside of even the shrinking, or maybe with the shrink.
Interesting.
Midi-chlorians.
Maybe he has maybe he's a black stormtrooper.
He has to get trained with it like Leia does.
Yes.
I will show you the ways of the Force.
Of the
Wait. So you mean I have this power to do all this stuff, and we're just controlling ants? No, you don't understand. Ants are very cool.
Qui-Gon Pym will teach him.
Qui-Gon Pym. Oh, done. Hashtag Qui-Gon Pym.
But
so I liked it. What did you think of the train at the end? I thought that was so funny.
I'm so glad that they're not attempting to like make this a gritty thing.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to laugh at it. I'm glad that like they had the meeting where the guy said, "All right, this is not going to be taken seriously as a film. So let's ham it up." And I think it's going to do very well as a movie because of that.
I think they're going the Guardians of the Galaxy route.
Yeah,
it's like we have a talking raccoon. Let's run with that, as opposed to trying to make people just like love the talking raccoon, because that seems. And then we love the talking raccoon.
Do. Yeah.
We love Rocket. So yeah, Ant-Man was pretty good.
And I think people, at least from what I've perceived, people generally really like Paul Rudd too.
Yeah.
I think he's a really likable actor. Except he seems so serious. I mean, really, the only time you see humor is when they're doing the punch thing. Which, by the way, if any of you watch Lost?
No.
Evangeline Lilly, one of the main female character in Lost, is whoever that girl is that punches him in the face.
We don't know who she is.
And she's a really great actress. I was glad to see. Yeah, she was one of the main characters in Lost. Yeah, Kate from Lost.
She's Toriel in the Hobbit movies too.
Oh yeah. Yep. So I was glad to see her in this too. So, anyways, but it's kind of, for the most part, you saw him kind of like in a more serious, and of course there's the one-liners because Whedon's involved in it. But, but it seemed kind of like a different kind of role for him.
It's gonna be fun, and I think this was one of the first big name actors that didn't get their start in Marvel starring in a Marvel movie. Like Chris Pratt wasn't a household name.
No.
Neither was Robert Downey Jr. when he started.
Yeah,
not really. So you know what I mean. But Paul Rudd has a significant following before.
Yeah, I mean Samuel L. Jackson was.
Okay, well Samuel L. Jackson, but he was not like a main character. He's not starring in it.
Right.
He showed up at the end of Iron Man.
Yeah.
Which still to this day is the best movie thing that I've ever seen in a movie theater.
Oh yeah, no, it was very.
And then so I think this is the first time that Marvel's dipping into the celebrity pool.
Yeah.
To try to see if they could sell a character that's a little weird.
What do you think? Robin from How I Met Your Mother? Does it count?
No. Maria Hill. Anyone from anyone on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Maria Hill.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Everyone in S.H.I.E.L.D., with the exception of Samuel Jackson, is boring. No one cares.
White bread.
They're just like I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so maybe someone could write in and say, "Oh, but you don't understand. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is so awesome," and then I'll be like, "Oh, you're right." But until that day comes, and I watch an episode of Agents, the first and only Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode I watched was the season finale of season 2. With my mother.
That's a great place
because my mother loves Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that should tell you something.
I've actually heard if you make it through the first 4 episodes, you get hooked.
I hate when
I'm just unable to watch the first 4 episodes.
I hate the show on principle. I just have to.
It's just the most boring version of life.
In Avengers, the only really like fairly sad moments when he gets just shot. And
Agent
that's when
Coulson.
Loki stops
Right,
being
Agent
a
Coulson.
trickster, and you realize like, oh,
He's a murderer.
this is a real thing, and he
Mhm.
dies in the event. And that's what pulls the Avengers together.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, just kidding, he's not dead. And it's not unless it comes up in Avengers 2,
Which I hope it does.
that would be really great, actually.
Because then it'll be like, you lied to us,
Yeah.
jerk.
Mhm.
Why are you
worst.
trying to... Why are you
Nick
telling us
Fury is just kind of seems like a bit of a poor administrator.
Yeah.
It's like if that came out, like that could just as easily separate them as it did bring them together. They'd be
Well,
like, well, then all
do
this
the
was a
event-
lie.
Well, that's why I don't know. And like, we're gonna get into some like MCU world stuff in a second when we talk about Daredevil. But does the rest of the Avengers know about Hydra being in control of Shield? Because that came out in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
Well, we see.
Spoilers. If you haven't watched Captain America: Winter Soldier, Hydra's behind it. Whatever problem that's happening.
Yeah. But you do see that they have kind of this, at least with spoilers, Fury, this underground thing where it seems like they're meeting him underground. He's got the cap on and the
Yeah, but,
and
what I'm saying, like, do they understand that the first meeting that they were in, Hydra probably knew about it and was like,
yeah, that,
you know what I
that
mean?
probably not.
Like, there's so much that is,
It opens a lot of questions.
you know, and I hope they tackle that. I hope they don't just pretend like that's a separate thing, which the Marvel doesn't seem to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, with the way they're handling their trailers as of late, just saturating the market with just trailer after trailer,
So many.
it just seems like they're like kind of off on how they're handling this movie. So we'll see.